If you've been following some of my videos, you know I've been talking a lot about Candida and really honing in on that east-west approach, that holistic approach to managing Candida and Candida overgrowth. In my last video, I talked a little bit about how it's genetically mediated, really influenced by stress and lifestyle and diet choices, and what some of the subtle signs and symptoms are that might be cluing you in that you're having an issue with Candida. But in this video, I want to break it down and help you to beat it. That's right. We're going to make those yeast go away for once and all using our east-west approach, boom, and getting that holistic, well-rounded approach to this pesky condition. Okay, where do we start? Well, we got to start with food. I know that food is often 75-80% of the battle, but if you go now and run in Google Candida diet, you'll see how difficult a true Candida diet can be. So much so that I've gotten away in practice from prescribing a Candida diet in its strictest form to my patients because I know they just can't stick to it. So what do we do instead? We take out the big bad guys, right? Who are they? Well, dairy's number one, sugar is right after that, alcohol is probably number three, and then your refined and processed foods come pretty close into number four. I would focus there, trying to really clean those particular things out of your diet. It helps to lower the load of Candida, keeps it under control. Again, none of this is a perfect science, but it definitely helps to improve and alleviate many of the signs and symptoms of Candida. All right, once you've mastered diet, right, just like that, you can get rid of all your dairy, sugar, and alcohol in just a bat of an eye. But I know it's a journey. But once you've really tackle that, where do you go next? Well, we go to the gut. And remember, in Eastern medicine, that's why this east-west approach is so important, we know that the gut is ground zero for your health. So here's where you start. We really want to start by balancing the gut bacteria. What does that mean for you? Adding in a probiotic, adding in at least something with about 100 billion units and a range of bacteria, but you really want the lactobacillus bacteria and you very much want bifidobacteria in that probiotic to suppress the load of Candida. Now, in my practice at Center Spring MD, we have found that using Saccharomyces boulardii has been incredibly helpful in managing Candida as well. So I would look, and sometimes I'll add that in as an additional strain. That is enough for some patients. The diet, maybe adding the right probiotic, and boom, their Candida symptoms are significantly better and under control. But for others, they need to step it up a little bit, and that step up often involves adding natural or herbal antifungals first. My favorites are biocidin and berberine. Biocidin is also a binder helping to break down biofilms, and berberine acts in many different ways, but it is a great natural antifungal as well. I love using those two. Again, there's so many others. There's oregano oil, there's pau d'arco, different herbs that will help to lower the load of Candida, and often we'll use a mix of these as our starting point in trying to improve Candida symptoms. But sometimes that's still not enough, and that actually doesn't take care of it. And each of these steps, by the way, you want to give at least 3 weeks, because none of the stuff that's natural is going to work instantly. It needs time for the body to reacclimate and then really shift gears and change direction. So the next place I'll go if someone's really flaring, and this, by the way, often happens when there's been a big holiday or a vacation or a lot of celebration, or there's been a situation where there's been extreme stress and trauma, and that has disrupted the gut and the microbiome. Surgery, by the way, will do that too, and that in turn has led to increased Candida. So in those particular circumstances, we may actually treat with a course of nystatin, which is an antifungal, and that's usually 2 or 3 times a day for about 6 weeks, or we'll do diflucan for a couple of weeks and do that every single day. But again, by the way, all this needs to be vetted by your doctor. Don't go and do these things on your own. Definitely make sure you have a great holistic functional provider that can work in tandem with you as you're tackling many of these concepts. But we'll treat with an antifungal to help bring that load of Candida under control. And if that's still not enough, then we look more deeply, honestly, at the immune system to see what is driving this sort of overall flip-flop of the gut and the health of the gut and what we need to do about it. And sometimes that involves adding in more anti-inflammatory or actually adding in immune support to stabilize Candida overall. So again, that's a big sort of overview of Candida and Candida management and how we typically tackle that within the practice. Now, from a hormonal standpoint, realize that Candida will spike insulin levels. Insulin levels will then impact androgens. Candida and androgens are often related, so a lot of the PCOS and endometriosis I see in the practice is often tied to Candida as well. All right, I hope this information about Candida was helpful. Remember, I post new videos every Thursday, so if you like it, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.